Okay, let's take that comfortable seat with the sits bones as your anchor, pelvis tilted slightly forward. So if you're on a blanket or a chair, just make sure you sit up on the edge of that so that you can take those hands, those palms to your lower back and just notice the curve that is very natural and should be comfortable for the spine. Take the hands to the thighs, or you can also place the palms upward on the thighs if you want a more of a receiving energy. We'll begin in our seated position, closing the eyes and shutting out all the distractions, visual distractions. You can close the eyes or not, but it does help to really go inward. So I suggest gently closing the eyes. And you can just notice the breath. So you begin by observing the breath. If we want to take that approach throughout the whole practice and simply observe your breath, that's a wonderful yogic practice. But let's always begin that way because we're not judging, we're simply witnessing what the breath brings to our day or our evening. That natural autonomic breath, which invites air inward, filtering out anything we don't need, and then exhaling out carbon dioxide, any debris, any kind of chemicals that are unneeded. They just go out that naturally out the exhale. Let's appreciate that wonderful, miraculous process. And as we appreciate that breathing process, we can transition to a more conscious breath, which is a way to enter yoga through that conscious practice of the breath. And I wanted to put our practice towards the idea of connecting through our breath to the wider existence. So each time we inhale, we are sharing whatever atmosphere we have here on this beautiful planet with so many, many, many others. So as we inhale, we invite that in and we exhale out, releasing it to the atmosphere. The energy, matter is always there. And our breath is really that avenue, that channel to keep in contact, keep ourselves in contact with one another, keep ourselves in contact with the universe, with other beings, other sentient beings and beauty around us. For the conscious breath practice today, I'm suggesting a mantra that I've been really liking lately. And you can just say it inside your mind so you can hear it, or you can say it out loud. It's Ahum Brahmasmi. Ahum Brahmasmi. Ahum Brahmasmi. And this mantra is the self, the whole. So we have this consciousness of ourselves, but yoga has that union of the self and the whole all around us. And that breath being the miraculous connection between ourselves and the whole energy, the ultimate energy around us, connecting us at all times. So as you breathe in, I invite you to say to yourself, Ahum, and as you breathe out, Brahmasmi. On the in-breath, Ahum. On the out-breath, Brahmasmi. Make this a moment, few moments of silent meditation with this mantra. On your next exhale, flutter the eyes open, drop the hands to the side, and we're going to sweep those palms up towards the sky, arms out to the side, all the way above your head, reaching up towards the clouds and the blue sky, that atmosphere, and then bringing the palms together in prayer position. So let's just see if we can also bring the shoulders down away from the ears as you reach up towards the sky, really lengthening the side body. So rooting down our connection through the sits bones into that beautiful root to the earth, and through those fingertips, reaching up and growing through the side bodies, connecting to the higher place. Inhale, exhale. Let's slide those prayer position hands down through the center, your center point, to the third eye. Take the thumbs to the third eye, and we'll just, that's the between the eyebrows. So just notice that still contemplation point, acknowledging that energy point in the body, and then slide the thumbs towards the mouth, another energy point, past the throat, and down to the amazing heart. And hold the palms together. Just as you squeeze them together, the elbows go out to the side, again, rolling those shoulders away from the ears, giving you a sense of height through the neck, through the crown of the head, releasing some of those tight spots along the spine, especially the mid and upper spine. Hold here, just feeling that toning through the shoulders as you press those hands together. And we can go up with the fingers towards the face and then down again. This flosses the nerves of the wrists and the elbows. If you've had any typing on computer, this is a nice way to break up some of that energy, static energy. Beautiful. Now take the fingertips, the middle fingers, to that third eye between the eyebrows. And then you can massage, gently massage. Let's warm the hands first. So rub the hands together. Not sure what people's climate is or weather is going on around the world, but just in case it's chilly, warm those fingers up, usually cold around right now, unless we're in South Africa. Okay, take the fingertips to the third eye, just again acknowledging that energy center, and then massage with those fingers along the eyebrows till you reach the temples. And then when you get to the temples, we'll just take circles behind you, breathing easily and gently, and then circles in front of you. And then you can do that one more time, third eye along the brows. Self-massage, always still great during this time of disconnect, social distancing and all that. And let the fingertips drop to the mat beside you. Take the fingertips, spider hands, and take those fingertips as your connection point, your rooting down to the earth, as well as the sits bones. And now we'll take a left turn. Actually, let's take circles with the chin first. Let's make gentle circles to the left with the chin. So you're feeling inside your skull, you can feel that top of the spine kind of gliding through that. We'll change the directions of the circle. No strain here. And then slow those circles down. Now we're going to nod, and as we nod, we're going to go take the chin towards the left shoulder. So we gentle wave action here. When you get to the left shoulder, continue to feel that pathway of the neck as you nod gently up and down. And then come through center with that same wave action. Back to gazing forward, and we'll take that wave action over the right shoulder with the chin. And then when you get there, feel that nodding, pressing through the fingertips. And then come back to center with that gentle wave action. So we wake up our neck a little bit, look up, then look down. And always look all the way down at the heart, tucking the chin in between the collarbones. Beautiful. Now bring the gaze up and we're going to transition to getting right into our hamstrings, which is going to make our flow coming up from the floor a lot easier. So we'll take a block and strap and keep that to the side. Take yourself down to a reclined position. To ease the lower back, we'll take the soles of the feet to the floor, the knees bent. And we'll grab for that strap right away. So take the strap and notice that the feet are hip width apart and that the knees are hip width apart. So we're in a nice alignment with our skull lined with that sacrum. So your spine is draped out over the floor, lower back arch, lower back lifting off the floor just a little bit naturally with that curve. Inhale your right knee towards your face and give it a hug. And then notice that your sacrum is going to lift off the mat if you hug that knee forward. And then see if you can imprint the sacrum. Your knee will rise up a little bit, but you'll also give a little decompression to your lower back, especially if you press your hand into your shin and your shin into the hand. Great, on the way up here, so we'll take the strap around the ball of the right foot. And let's take that right leg long towards the sky. Hold on to the strap with both hands. We're going to bend and straighten the knee. Another witnessing action here going on. Notice the inhales and the exhales of your system as you come into practice, and also just notice the tight spots along the back of the leg. Maybe each time you straighten your leg, you can bring the toes towards your face a little bit more. Go really easy here. And if your lower back has issues, I would suggest taking your leg in a diagonal direction, not in a vertical direction. So you just be easy with yourself. Take the right leg nice and long. And now we're going to go across the midline of the body. We're not going to go all the way over today. We're just going to wake up some hamstrings. Take the right foot across the midline of the body towards the left hip. And so we're getting into another hamstring opener here. Hold on to that strap, bend the knee and straighten the knee. So your toes are slightly pointed towards your left shoulder. Make sure that your knee and your toes stay very well aligned. So you're protecting the knee. But what we're doing is crossing that midline of the body so we wake up another hamstring in the back of the thigh. If you can nudge those toes towards the left shoulder, that's great. Or again, back off if it feels like any pinching. You'll want to feel the opening in the back of the leg. And then slow that down, we'll come back to neutral, and then we'll point the toes towards the right shoulder, holding onto that strap, bend the knee, and straighten the knee. So this is yet another hamstring wake-up call. Really press that heel towards the sky. And see if those toes move a tiny millimeter closer to the right shoulder as you kick up and hold the strap. Maybe one of the three, which one of them is feeling really tight today? I've got a tight side today on that side. So let's come back to neutral and just do 3 more. Bend and straighten in the middle here on the right leg. Bend the knee, release the strap, lengthen out the right leg on the mat. And then lengthen out the left leg, close the eyes. Notice the difference between the two. You just really created some new pathways on the back of that right leg. So let's bend the knees again, soles of the feet to the floor. Inhale the left knee towards the face. Give it a hug, and then curl in with the spine, and then plant the sacrum Press the shin into the hand, hand into the shin for some beautiful decompression. And then take the strap around the ball of the left foot. And let's take that leg long up towards the ceiling or to a diagonal direction. And you've got that wonderful leverage with the strap to control everything. Inhale your left knee towards the face, straighten the leg. Follow your breath with the movement. Try this a few more times just to warm up the back of the leg, since we'll be doing some lunges and higher lunges, hopefully flying a little bit in balances today. You can really give a hamstrings some easing into this. Great, hold that in a neutral space and then slide that left foot across midline of the body towards the right hip. And then bend and straighten. Mapping out the hamstrings, you've got 3 of them. So these are 3 different positions that address all 3. Make sure to feed this conscious bending and straightening with some breath. And then let's bring that foot back to neutral and we'll take the toes out towards the left shoulder and follow that path. Bend the knee and straighten. This also will give should give a good feeling to the lower back. Again, keep this nice and easy if you have issues with compression there. Bring yourself back to a neutral position with that foot. 3 more times, bend and straighten. Great, and now bend the left knee towards the face, release the strap, and then grab the block. So you've got your feet hip width apart. Actually, let's just lay the legs out long just so you feel that length. Inhale, exhale, and then we'll take the feet to the floor again, knees hip width apart. Take the block so that it allows you to be hip width apart in your knees and your feet. Take your arms, drape them alongside the body, and bring your heels closer to your fingertips so you can feel that length, that reach from below you. Long arms, tips of the fingers touching the heels. Roll the shoulders underneath you. So squeeze the block. What we're going to do is use that toning on the inner thighs to stabilize the pelvis as we go up into bridge. So our first move would be to keep those arms nice and engaged on the floor. Keep the full length of the arms on the floor. So you're really using the advantage of those muscles to help us into a bridge. Curl the tailbone up towards the sky. Step down strong through those feet, squeeze the block and lift the hips towards the ceiling. Hip bones even as you press into the arms, the sternum comes towards, that heart comes towards the chin. Notice again, coming back to that idea of the third eye, it's looking up, right? You've also got that back of the skull nice and easy. Press through the feet and then press the elbows into the earth, bring the fingertips towards the sky, squeeze the block, press through the feet, lift the hips up higher, and then reach towards the sky. So you're reaching for the clouds. Exhale, let's bring the arms next to the ears, above the head, along the floor. Stretching that length of the front body, and then reach up towards the sky again, long arms. Ease down to those elbows, full arms down on the mat, and then snake the spine down to the mat. So you've toned your glutes, the hamstrings, the quads. This is a full body core, everything. Let's lift up again. Wave action. Hips come up. Elbows press in. Reach for the clouds and reach up behind you. And then reverse that. Sky back to the elbows, length of the arms, snake down. Repeat this. So as you touch down with your sacrum, coming down to the floor, reach up again, squeezing the block. Elbows, arms, reach up and behind. Notice the entire body is participating in this wave action. If you have any confusion, you can just look up at the screen. I'm doing it here. And I'm just using my breath as my guide on the pacing of my wave. Snaking that spine down, always placing the sacrum down to your landing point. One up. One more. Ease yourself down, remove the block. And then we'll come up into a bridge. And I'm going to do a more toning here. So take those arms again, drape them alongside you and press down. We're going to lift up and straighten out the right leg. So straighten out in parallel, keep the thighs parallel. And then let's take that right foot down. And then let's take the left foot out, holding that. And then come down. Try to keep the hips even here. If this is too much, you can simply lift off 1 inch off the mat. You'll really still feel that toning in both glutes as you lift up. Very important support muscles we're working here. The feet, you can just repeat this. Call this walking under the bridge. Hips will want to drop, so just check in. And out, nice and warming. Go back to a bridge and then ease your spine down. Really travel bone by bone as you go down. Roll it down, make that therapeutic. And then bring the landing with your sacrum at the bottom there. Inhale your left knee towards the face. We're going to take the left ankle to the right thigh. Keep that right foot on the floor. So we're in figure 4. Take your left hand to your left thigh, press against the thigh with your hand and press the thigh into the hand. More lower back decompression here. Beautiful. And then reach for the right thigh, back of the right thigh, just bring that towards your face. Getting our piriformis stretch here, as well as some toning. Release that on your exhale, release the right foot down. Press those arms beside you. We're going to lift the hips up into figure 4 bridge. And then notice, are both of your glutes engaged? Because sure, the right one is, but let's make sure the left one is as well. Keep the left foot active, press it into an imaginary surface. That's the one kind of hanging out in space. Keep the hips even. Relax the face. And then ease yourself down, snaking down like we were before. By now, you know that really well. Unwind yourself there. Inhale the right knee towards the face. Exhale, take the right the ankle to the left thigh. Keeping that beautiful alignment with the skull and the sacrum, pressing through the left foot, press the hips up, and we're in figure 4 on the other side. Oh wait, I didn't do figure 4. Let's go down to our sacrum again, sorry about that. Let's reach for, do the decompression first, right hand to right thigh, pressing in both directions. Inhale, take the left knee towards your face. Left hands behind the left thigh. Opening that piriformis. Left foot back down to earth. Now we can go up and step strong through that footprint on the left foot. Lift those even hips up towards the sky, pressing through the arms. And then you feel the glutes on both sides engage. Great job early in our practice doing this. Inhale, really push the hips up and then come on back down, land down, unwind the legs. Beautiful. And now we'll roll over onto our side and we're going to come up for a seated twist. On our way up to our standing sequence. So I'm going to sit up on the edge of a blanket because this is kind of it could be asymmetrical. So let's use that blanket to the advantage, folded blanket. Sit up on the edge of that blanket. First, we're going to sit cross-legged to get there. So take the fist beside you, lift up a little bit, feel those hips, sits bones, just drop down towards the edge of the blanket. If there's one side that's lower than the other, then you want to put a blanket under that side and see if you can even out your sits bones as much as possible here. So we're going to come into that classic yoga pose, Lord of the Fish. So we're going to take the right knee and the right foot and slide it over towards the left knee. And you might have to adjust those sits bones again. Take the right foot in front of the left knee or over the side on the left thigh, whatever works for your body. Great, and you can use those fists or the leverage on that front thigh to sit up really tall. And you see that, feel that arch in the lower back as you reach and grow taller. Now I want you to use the core strength to come into a twist. So we're going to take those cactus hands up above you. So holding strong through the triceps, through the biceps, through the deltoids and the biceps. Hold those up, shine those palms forward. And now we're going to take our rib cage over towards the right and then the shoulders, gazing slightly forward as you take the shoulders and the neck, and then look over the right thumb. And then come back to center. We'll take a counter twist. So we're turning the rib cage, chest, shoulders, neck over to the left, and then the gaze. Back and forth. Coming back through center, so we're alternating this. It's your mid-core muscles, those deep core that are helping you twist here, but you're also getting a beautiful, nice relief on the spine. And some stretch on your hip flexors. Come back, face forward, and we'll lift those arms up again, just pressing those hands together. Feeling that strength through the sides, and then we'll press the hands together back down through those energy points. Third eye, mouth, throat, heart. Beautiful. And now unwind yourself and see how we can take ourselves to the other side. If you can use the core muscles as much as possible and leave those hands free, take yourself to that side sit on the other side. Adjust the sits bones, fists below you. Nice job. And then, so we're kind of in the side sit, right leg forward, left leg to the side. And then we're going to sweep that left foot around towards the right knee, in front or to the side. Adjust the sits bones, feel the evenness, or use your blanket to help you out there. Take the hands to the shin or to the sides, really grow, make space between the vertebrae. Reaching the crown of the head towards the sky above us. And then release the hands into cactus. And now we're going to turn left with that rib cage first. Then the chest. Shoulders, neck, head. looking over the left fingertips, coming back through center. Take the counter twist. Same roll here through the rib cage, chest, shoulders, neck, head. Back and forth. Keeping those shoulders rolled away from the ears, but we're getting some nice steadiness in those arm muscles. Coming back to center, let's reach up again. Inhale, exhale, bring the thumbs down, past the third eye, past the mouth, throat, heart. Ooh, nice job. So now we're going to transition briefly to all fours. So you probably don't need to cushion the knees because we're going to go up from here. But if you want to cushion your knees, feel free to do so. So take a block, and you're going to have a block to your side, kind of planted on the front side of your mat. So face the front of your mat. We're going to go from low lunge to high lunge and some other poses. So if you want something to help you balance, you may want to grab a chair or something, but I think you all have a really strong practice, so I think you'll be fine. But if you wanted that extra, just here's your moment to do that. So starting in all fours, we're going to transition to a low lunge. So using that neutral space of the all fours, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Inhale through the spine. Imagine the inhale going all the way down the spine, and then exhaling everything out. Navel goes to spine. Just sigh that out. Now bring your right knee forward, right foot forward on the inside of the right hand. And you might want to put your toes a little forward, and then take those hands around the feet, fists, or keep them. We're in a low lunge now, but we're going to go into a low lunge where we curl the back toes under, the left foot curls under, left toes curl under, reach back with that left heel, straighten the left leg. So magnetize your feet together. That will remind you where your center is. So we're in a standing low lunge. Reach long through the crown of the head. That will grow that spine. And then take your hands to the front thigh, and with your super core strength, come on up to a high lunge, and your front thigh could be 90 degrees to the body. If you want to lift it up a bit, that's okay too. The important part is having those pelvis reaching back through the back heel. Keep that back leg straight. Reach the arms above the head, keep the body really long. And then you're going to drop the tailbone, so that will bring that stretch into the left side. High lunge. Exhale. Now sweep the arms beside you, take the hands to the hips. You're going to use that back toes and tiptoe forward on the ball of the foot, just a couple inches. We're going to straighten the front leg. So from here, your back foot can be angled out to the side, or it can be facing forward. So getting into why do we do those hamstrings, we're going to take a forward bend. So again, keep this forward bend very light if you have issues with the lower back. Otherwise, take your right hand to the top of your right hip and just nudge that back a little bit, that hip back, so that your hip bones are even and you're really plugging in your leg bone into the hip socket. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, hinge forward at those hips, pressing the feet so you really feel that base and the foundation. Come forward, and then take your hand, that block that's out there, you can put it in its tall position and take your right hand to that block. So you're taking your left hand, still supporting the top of your left thigh. So you feel the evenness between those hip bones. You're not flopping outside to side. Scissor the legs together. This is challenging to keep those legs connected. Inhale, exhale, and then push through the feet. Come on back up, float back up to standing. Now we're gonna bend the front knee, keep it behind those middle two toes, and drop the pelvis down, and we're gonna go back to our high lunge. This is our base, so keep the hands on the hips. And this is our launching point, either to the balancing stick pose, or you can really fly out into the atmosphere with a warrior three, which we've done before. So keep the hands on the hips. Again, tiptoe the back toes forward and begin to connect the head and the back foot like you're on a plank on that left side. You don't want to bend forward. You want to keep them all connected as you hinge forward on the right hip and see how much you can balance. Maybe let go of the arms out to the side. As you do so, you can stay diagonal or go to horizontal, really fly out. The sense of being above it all, flying in your balance, pressing through the right leg, and then reach back. Begin to micro bend that front knee as you reach back. Woo, get back into high lunge. Yes, this is challenging. So go easy on yourself. Keep the feet close together or the feet wide apart, whatever makes your balancing more, facilitates that. Now, I want you to come back to straighten that front leg. We're going to do that bend again, the forward bend again. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, lean forward. Take your right hand down to that block. And then, or if you're on a chair, you can just come to the seat. If you're using a chair, you can take it back to that balancing point. And then I want you to switch the block to the inside of your right foot. And then take your left hand to that block. So, and then take the right hand to the sacrum. So we're going to twist this. The spine is nice and long. You feel that connection, scissor the legs together. Then now switch the right hand to the heart. And we're going to twist just like we were doing seated. Turn the rib cage to the right towards the right leg. Keep that spine nice and long. Reach the right arm towards the sky. So congratulations, this is a challenge. This is a revolved triangle. Inhale, grow long through the collarbones. Sweep down with your exhale back to that block support or seat support chair. And then inhale, fill yourself with air. Float back up to standing. And now bend the front knee and we're going to go down again to earth. So sweep the arms up, swan dive yourself down around that front leg. Take the back knee down, back shin down. Place the block over to the side and come back to all fours. Come back into child's pose briefly, if that's comfortable for you. Or whatever makes you just take a little wee break down here. So take the forehead to the mat, reach the arms out long. And notice the breath after warming up with those lunges. Notice the wisdom of your body, connection with the body, what your limitations are, and be okay with those limitations if you need to adjust any of the poses. Inhale, back up to all fours. And we're going to do the other side. So inhale, the left foot on the inside of the left hand. And again, keeping everything connected, energizing through the entire body. Let's curl the right toes under behind you, straighten out the right leg. Make it long through that right side. And then you're going to take the hands, palms to the front thigh and curl upwards. The whole spine upwards towards the sky. Arrow, the tailbone is an arrow reaching towards the earth while you reach back with that back heel and keep that front knee aligned behind the two middle toes. Arms up long, inhale, fill with breath, reach the sky. Oh, looks great. Nice and strong. And then sweep the arms down to the hips. tiptoe forward with the back foot and your core strength. Angle that foot, straighten the front leg. We're ready for our forward bend. I'm going to go to an example of taking this super easy so you can see that. Press down through the feet. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, hinging at the hips. I'm only going to go to this diagonal, and that's fine, just as long as you connect your legs together, magnetize them. Otherwise, you can grab that block. Sorry, I didn't set that up on the left side of your your foot, your front foot, and you can take the left hand down to that block if you want, or just stay diagonal in that hinge, pressing through the feet. Feeling that warmed up hamstrings, getting yet another shift in tides here. And then float yourself back up to standing. We're going to bend the front knee and shift back to that high lunge. And then keep the hands on the hips for stability as you point those hips forward, tiptoe the back foot, begin to straighten the front leg, and then just hinge forward on your left hip, letting go, or just tilting forward, or flying the arms out to the side, and seeing how far down you want to take your warrior three. Balance, tap into the center, and then begin to micro bend the front knee, reaching back to our high lunge. And then we're going to begin to straighten the front knee, plant that back foot nice and solid. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, hinge at the hip. Reach down for your balancing point. In my case, it's the block. So take your left hand to the block. Again, scissor the legs together, feeling that connection. Take your block, put it on the inside of your left foot. Take your right hand to the block. And then take your left hand to the sacrum, noticing the evenness of your hips. And then take your left hand to your beautiful heart, elbow towards the sky on the left arm. And then begin to turn towards your left leg. Left arm reaches towards the clouds. You're flying off to the side here, broad along the collarbones. Looking forward, or you can look down at your hand or up at the left hand, whatever you choose, your neck comfort level. On the next exhale, take the left hand to the hip again, point those hips forward, untwist, and then step down through the feet, growing up tall. And then let's begin to transition again to that high lunge. Arms up above the head. Inhale, exhale, swan dive those arms down towards the left foot, around the left foot. Bring the right foot down, right knee down. And then sweep back to child's pose through all fours. So here we are in all fours. Sweep, take the hips back above the heels, on the heels. Knees out wide, or you can keep them tight together and just take the arms alongside the body, forehead to the mat. So you can curl up like a shell in a turtle. Taking an observation moment here. What's going on with the body, and have there been any changes? Is there changing in your breath? Perhaps coming back to that mantra, Ahum Brahmasmi. Inhale yourself back up to all fours. Since we are here, and since I know I got some requests for arm strengthening, let's take the knees back about 5 inches. So we keep them at that hip width. We're gonna take take the hands out forward a few inches, keep them at shoulder width. And then you're gonna slide the hips forward into a knee plank. So keep those shins down, begin to squeeze the glutes about 25% of the full extreme. And your heart's gonna melt towards the earth, and you're gonna squeeze those armpits down towards the rib cage. Squeeze an imaginary magazine under those armpits, and then reach the crown of the head. So we're setting up here nicely, and we're in this knee plank, long from the knees to the crown of the head. Now we're gonna do lizard push-ups. So just bending the elbows towards the ribs, keeping them tight towards the ribs, and then pushing up again. So these are not full push-ups. These are just pressing through the hands, bending, micro-bending the elbows, and then back up again, keeping those shoulders plugged in and engaged. Inhale and exhale. Tiny little push-ups. Nice. And then come back to all fours, and we'll transition to reclined again. So come back, ease yourself back down to earth. Hope that was a nice warming sequence. And it took a lot of different directions. And let's come back down, easing into some hip opener. Inhale, both knees towards the face. And now we're going to take a happy baby, a full happy baby. So we're going to take the both knees towards the armpits. Take the hands to the back of the thighs. Keep those hands on the back of the thighs as you notice where your sacrum is on the mat. And then reach the soles of the feet towards the sky. Hold on to the thighs. Use the press on your back of your thighs to really notice gravity helping you open into both hips. Imagine something just kind of adding a glide to the hip sockets. Oil, honey. And then take your hands either to the ankles or the sides of the feet. Feel the descending of the thighs towards the body. Connect the back body here. Feel the contact with the earth. You can rock side to side. Coming back to the third eye, relax between the eyebrows. Relax the mouth. Try a happy expression or a happy pose. Enjoying a full inhale and a full exhale. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet towards each other as you come out of happy baby, taking both feet to the floor. We're going to take an eagle twist. If you have any issues with knee alignment, then I would say just do a regular twist. Well, let's take the right leg crossing over the left. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto our left side. The right knee should come down to earth. So we're just getting an extra stretch here as we come into a twist. We're going to stretch extra through that right side if you stay in this eagle pose, or you can take the knees together. Left arms reaching out in front of the face or just below the face. And then you're going to bring the hands together, palms together. Take the right fingertips, trace along with a nice inhale, trace along the left arm. Take your hand to your heart, inhale, exhale. Look up at your right elbow towards the sky. Begin to turn the rib cage over to the right. You can even help it do that. And then the chest, shoulders, the gaze, open up the right arm. So you have full T arms here, as if you're spreading those wings. And then press through the left elbow. See if that helps you into the twist a little more. And that cross of legs is just keeping that right knee steady. And your hip on the right should be your outside hip flexors. Those adductors should be getting some stretch as well. Maybe the shoulders melt a little down towards the earth with each out breath. If there's any thoughts whirling around, just let them float by. And then sweep that right hand up towards the sky, bringing the palms together again. And then we'll come back, we'll unwind the knees here, come back up to center. Take the left leg, cross it over the right, and roll over onto your right side. The left knee will come down to earth. So you want to contact there with the left knee. Bring the palms together, arms out long. This time you're tracing with the left fingertips along the right arm. Take the left hand to the heart, reminding yourself of that amazing energy point, and then look up at your left elbow, turn the rib cage to the left, chest, shoulders, open up, arms to a T. And then take your right hand or right elbow, press a little extra into the floor. Maybe you feel the rib cage lift a little more and then settle down again. So it's a constant movement within the body, this sort of adjustment into these stretches. Maybe a tiny millimeter more with each breath. On your next inhale, sweep the left arm up towards the sky. Bring the arms closed, unwind your knees, and come on back up. And I'm going to suggest, come on back up, come out onto your back. So I'm going to suggest a restorative pose here. Here's my strap. If you have a block and a strap, this is a nice way to enter Savasana, and it's a little bit of a craft project here. So we're going to take our standard prep for bridge pose, soles of the feet on the floor, knees together. Take the block in between the thighs. Take your strap. Take the long strap, just put it behind your thighs, wrap it behind your thighs. And then this is really just tying it off. So you can actually the block can be lengthwise along the thighs, like this, okay? Take the strap and tie the strap so that the thighs can stay together around that block, not too tight, just something supportive. And I just tie a knot, like a loose knot in the strap. And then I take the feet out a little bit wider than hip width. So you've got this, the idea is that the thighs are even more supported to release, and you have a nice alignment with that block for your pelvis. You can also just transition into a Shavasana right now, or you can try this out. Tie out there. Okay, so you'll notice if you get that strap tied around you and around that block and around the thighs, that it will just begin to give that extra release for your lower back. If you have lower back issues, this is just really nice supported. It also lifts the legs up and just releases any effort there. So the idea here is to Release the entire body, moving towards resting. Take the shoulders and shimmy them underneath the body. Arms out beside the body, palms up, again, that beautiful receiving energy through the palms up to the sky. If you have that block between the thighs, just a sense of release with every exhale. Moving yourself into letting go of all effort. Allowing this restorative pose to bring you into that state of complete release, complete relaxation. Notice the breath. You can stay in this restorative pose through the entire Savasana. At any point, you can unwind that strap and just release the legs along the floor. But if this feels great, like a trip to the spa, then please stay there. Coming back to that mantra I suggested in the beginning, which is Ahum, Brahmasmi. On the inhale would be Ahum, and on the exhale, Brahmasmi. Ahum, Brahmasmi. Bringing the self energy in connection with the ultimate energy. Continue a few more delicious rounds of breath here. Luxuriating. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And if you have your restorative setup, you can just unwind that from the strap and the block. You can even keep that block between your thighs as you roll over onto your right side. Celebrating another inhale and exhale, helping yourself up to a seated position. Take the hands to the center point, to that beautiful energy center of the heart. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste. Thank you so much.